All right, let's talk about a story with a huge, huge lesson. It's all about the difference between just moving fast and actually moving in the right direction. It's called the wrong Deluxe Express. So let me ask you something right off the bat. Have you ever been in such a massive hurry, so focused on just getting there, that you completely missed one tiny but absolutely critical detail? You know that feeling, right? That rush of relief that suddenly turns into that sinking feeling of dread? Yeah, that's exactly what we're going to get into today. Okay, so our story kicks off with a journey. There's a clear plan, but a very, very tight schedule. Let's just call this first part a high-stakes departure.
So here's the plan. It's super simple. Our main character has one goal: get to Delhi. The train is the Deluxe Express, leaving from Asansol station at exactly 10 a.m. Seems pretty straightforward, doesn't it? I mean, clear destination, specific train, set time. What could possibly go wrong?
Well, you knew there had to be a catch, right? Here it is. At that exact moment, two trains roll into the station. And get this, both are called the Deluxe Express. Both are scheduled to leave at the exact same time. The only tiny difference? They're heading in completely opposite directions. Uh-oh. And this timeline, wow, it just captures the pure chaos of the moment. So at 9:45, he's stuck in traffic, probably freaking out. He finally bursts into the station at 9:57. We're talking 3 minutes to spare. He frantically flags down a ticket checker who just yells, "Platform 5." He sprints. And at 10 a.m., right on the dot, he just barely manages to jump aboard as the train is already starting to move. Talk about cutting it close. And you can just imagine his state of mind, right? He made it. He practically collapses into a seat, breathing this massive sigh of relief. He's thinking, phew, I did it. The race is over. He's probably thanking his lucky stars. But the real problem? It's literally just beginning. All right, let's move on to the next chapter of this story and see how this perfect plan starts to completely fall apart. We'll call this section the Howrah problem. So he's finally settled in, his heart rate is probably coming back to normal, and he decides to be friendly. Make a little small talk with the passenger sitting across from him. He leans over and asks a super simple, harmless question. So, where are you headed?
And the reply comes back, Howrah. Now, just a reminder, our guy is supposed to be going to Delhi. So this is the first little red flag. You can almost feel that little jolt of, wait, what? He probably thinks, okay, maybe I just misheard him. So he turns to another passenger and asks the same question. And the response, you guessed it, Howrah. Okay, now that little feeling of unease is starting to creep in for real.
Just to be absolutely sure, he asks a third person, and for the third time, the answer comes back loud and clear, Howrah. And at this point, there's just no denying it. The pattern is crystal clear. And bam, there it is, laid out in black and white. His destination, Delhi. The train's actual destination, Howrah. These two places are not the same. In fact, they're in completely opposite directions. You know that horrible sinking feeling you get in the pit of your stomach when you realize you've made a massive mistake? Yeah, he was feeling it big time.
And that was the crucial, fatal error. He was on a Deluxe Express, sure, but it was the one coming from Delhi, not the one going to it. In that mad dash, that frantic rush to just get on the train, he missed the single most important detail: which way it was going.
So, okay, it's a great story, right? But why does it matter to us? What's the takeaway here? This is where we shift gears, from just telling the story to understanding the lesson. Let's talk about the idea of catching the right train in our own lives.
This story gives us something we can call the Deluxe Express principle. And it's so simple, but it's also really profound. Verifying your direction is always more important than how fast you're going. I mean, think about it. Moving at 100 miles an hour is completely useless, or even worse than useless, if you're headed the wrong way. And this is where it really hits home, isn't it? Because we do this kind of thing all the time. We jump into a new career or a new project, a new relationship, without really checking if it's where we want to end up. And what happens when someone points out that, hey, maybe you're on the wrong track? Way too often, instead of just admitting the mistake and changing course, we dig in our heels and start making up silly excuses. So how do we stop ourselves from doing this? Well, the lesson gives us a pretty simple 3-step game plan. Step 1, research your destination. Like, really know where you truly want to go. Step 2, verify your vehicle. Double check, triple check that the train you're about to get on is actually headed there. And finally, and honestly, this is the hardest part for most of us, don't be afraid to switch platforms. It is always, always better to stop, get off, and find the right train than it is to just speed confidently towards the wrong station.
And that really brings us to the end here. The story of the wrong Deluxe Express, it isn't just about some guy who missed his trip. It's a really powerful metaphor for our own lives, our own decisions. So I'll just leave you with this final thought to chew on. What train are you on right now? And are you absolutely 100% sure that it's headed to the right station?